And welcome to Flightdeck Live, powered by SportBuff, where if you go to sportbuffshop.com and use the code AlexFlightdeck at checkout, you'll save 10% off your entire order. That's Tim Capper and Cliffy D from from Princess Auto Stadium here in Winnipeg for Grey Cup 112 as the Alouettes lose to the Saskatchewan Roughriders by the score of 25-17. So let's talk about this game. Obviously, it's not how we wanted it to end for Alouettes Nation or for the Owls. Great season nonetheless, but there were a couple of things within this game. Obviously, give it all props to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but the Alouettes had their chances tonight, and they really either A, could not take advantage of them, or B, at the same time, shot themselves in the foot.
Sometimes you just run out of racetrack. I think that's the sad reality of it. I mean, there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. Props to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They did play a hell of a game. Trevor Harris played a hell of a game, winning Grey Cup MVP. Samuel Lemus, most valuable Canadian, proved that as well. Give them full marks. I mean, they did the thing. Montreal made a hell of an effort, although in the second half they did everything they could to come back, being down 15-7 in the half. But man, sometimes some hills are just a little too big to climb, and I think that's what happened here today for Montreal. Was they just ran out of racetrack. Maybe the moment was too big. After all, it's really hard to say at this point.
It is. At one point, the Alouettes were down 18, and what's funny is that was the largest deficit that Davis Alexander has had to come back with in his streak, which did end tonight. Overall streak ended tonight.
Yeah.
But, give props, obviously, to Davis Alexander coming, and we still don't know the extent of what it was for his hamstring. He did up pulling it, supposedly, and we're guessing pretty severely, because he was not able to make the post-game press conference. Curious to know what the status is for Davis, but overall, Davis did not have a very good game. 3 interceptions. One was at the end of the first half. Let's talk about Davis and his first start in a Grey Cup game.
Yeah. And we wondered if the moment was going to be too big for him. We didn't think it was. I think just the way he carries himself as a professional athlete, despite what a lot of people think about his quote-unquote cocky nature or his attitude or anything like that, he's proven that he's a gamer. He's proven that he's going to do everything he can. As I said in the pregame show, and as we discussed throughout the week, he said he would die to win the Grey Cup. Thankfully, he didn't. I'm glad he didn't die to win the Grey Cup, because ultimately he did not win the Grey Cup. So now I'm hoping this serves as motivation for him. I hope this is the fuel that's needed to work that much harder, to be that much better. And again, with the hamstring being what it is, we don't know the severity of how it is, but it's going to be a cause for concern, and also too, it's going to make you wonder how he approaches this off season, as he no doubt is going to now be focused on recovering and making sure it truly is back to 100%.
That's true. I mean, no circle routes for him, hopefully, in the near future until he gets right and ready. And then that's the thing. We talk about the injury itself. It could be a tweak. It could be a strain, or it could, unfortunately, worst comes to worst, it could be a tear. We do not know. Unless the Alouettes do happen to let everybody know his exact status, and I can understand why the question was not asked of him, of Coach Moss in the post-game presser. But again, also, as I said, we talked about this game itself, where the Owls did shoot themselves in the foot tonight. Besides Davis's 3 interceptions, we had a fumble, a potentially game-tying touchdown fumble that was done on a very close. I think it was like a 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 on the 3-yard line.
And Shea Patterson, as he's been a short yardage beast all season long. It looked like, from our vantage point in the press box tonight, that it may have been a helmet to the ball itself. Again, I'll have to double check, but either way, it was fumbled. The Saskatchewan Roughriders recovered. The Owls did have a chance, but that right there and then could have been the chance for the Owls. They really could have had a chance to tie the game right then and come back, being down from 18 points at that point, right, at one time.
Yeah. Montreal in the second half did get the momentum back. Davis was connecting, putting the ground game to use as well. Travis Tice and Stevie Scott got some great runs in. Stevie Scott actually rumbled in for a touchdown at one point, which was absolutely spectacular. Man, it's going to be an off season for the Montreal Alouettes of what if. What if Davis didn't hurt his hamstring all the way back in April of this year?
Yeah.
What if Davis Alexander didn't have problems in training camp with the hamstring? What if he didn't tweak it more in Edmonton, further injuring himself against winning in Toronto, and then tonight?
What if Shea Patterson didn't fumble the ball?
What if Shea Patterson didn't fumble? And it's unfortunate because, yes, he has been absolutely fantastic in short yardage this year for the Montreal Alouettes. He just picked a bad day to have a bad day. It happens. I mean, there's not much you can do about it. I'm sure he's absolutely crushed at the prospect of, I'm sure he feels like he cost this team the championship, but it's not on him. It's not on Davis Alexander. It's, you win as a team, you lose as a team. That's the mentality I really hope that these guys are taking forward with them.
Yeah, even Coach Moss said tonight in the presser that he told them, listen, we wish we could go back out to start practice tomorrow and have a game next week in order to get amends for it. No, I agree. It just wasn't on Shea Patterson. It just wasn't on Davis Alexander. It was just yeah, they lost the turnover battle. They fought hard in the second half, but again, there are certain things that the Alouettes could not do. I mean, as you're saying, most outstanding Canadian Samuel Ellis was perfect for the night. He was 10 targets, 10 receptions for a grand total of 108 yards. I mean, they couldn't stop him all night. And AJ Ouellette, he was pretty well. I would say he was pretty well held in check most of the night. I mean, 17 attempts, 83 yards, and a touchdown. But it was at the point where he got his yards and that touchdown. And it's, again, there are other things that we could talk about too. And I know you wanted to talk about it. Was that specific, the series of plays here in the first quarter. What could have been, very interesting comment, by the way, from Trevor Harris in the postgame presser tonight, talking about the Kabi Nento. The reporter asked about the potential pick six, and Trevor immediately stepped up and said, was it a pick six, or did he just bat the ball away?
That's it.
By the way, that's pretty savage. I'm sorry. That's a savage remark.
Listen, say what you will about Trevor Harris, but man, he pulls no punches. I mean, yeah, that was a play that absolutely Kabi Nento had to have, and I'm sure he's going to be replaying that in his head for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Again, that could have been the momentum. That could have, as we talked about, you have to set the tone early. That would have absolutely set the tone early.
Oh, for sure.
And it may just have rattled Trevor Harris, and maybe he wouldn't have played the game that he did. But, if it's a nuts for candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas.
And the 7 points could have been a huge turning point, as you said, just based on what the score was for the Alouettes to lose tonight. And also another thing, too, and despite, I don't know what we call this, sour grapes or not, but despite it being called by the replay center that it was a DPI here on a third down play by Kabi Nento that gave the Saskatchewan the ball out at the 1, there are still many questions that play really was not a DPI. We've seen ones that have been less egregious called DPI. So, again, take it for what you will. Say I have sour grapes. I don't know. But, again, that also was another play that really helped Saskatchewan tonight.
Yeah, listen, what it came down to was both teams had opportunities to make things happen. Saskatchewan just did a slightly better job than Montreal in being able to capitalize on those opportunities. Can't be mad about it. It's disappointing. I know Alouettes Nation is definitely feeling dejected and disappointed, but in all reality, I mean, this was a hell of a year. This was a year that a lot of people were ready to write the Alouettes off during that 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
When Davis Alexander was on the 6-game list, and they thought this team didn't have a prayer, that they were lucky. Don't forget, everybody kept talking about this was going to be the path of least resistance, was going to Montreal in the Eastern semifinal, and that's going to be your ticket to the Grey Cup. The Alouettes proved that wrong. They played an absolutely incredible game in the Eastern final against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and all the way to the end. Like, that's the thing. This team did battle. They showed their guts. They showed their determination. It was just, unfortunately, a simple lack of execution. Mm-hmm. When this team needed it the most, unfortunately, they just couldn't answer the call.
Davis, he ended up going 22 of 34 for 284, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It's very rare since he started recently that he hasn't had a passing touchdown. Stevie Scott led the team with 15 attempts for 78 yards and a touchdown. Shea Patterson had a touchdown. And let's talk about the receiving core here, Cliff. It was Tyson Philpott led the team with 87 yards tonight. The other ones we got to talk about, because Davis was on. I mean, despite all the detraction when it came to the interceptions itself, Davis, this was the Davis Alexander that was able to throw balls on a dime. And that's what he did tonight more than a couple of times.
That one pass to Tyler Snead was just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's plenty more like that. That's thing. Like, people are going to focus on the 3 interceptions. They're going to focus on the missed opportunities. But Davis, give him all the credit. He definitely did everything he could, everything within his power and to the capability of his body to get this team their 9th Grey Cup championship. But again, too little, too late, unfortunately.
The grind for 9 I'm sure will be a theme for 2026. And lastly, the defense. It's been such a stalwart all season. They've done such a great job when it comes to doing the necessary things. Tonight, they couldn't get to Trevor Harris a single time.
No, and we talked about, you got to get in his kitchen. You got to rattle his cage. And as great as a defensive genius Noel Thorpe is, his guys couldn't get to Trevor Harris. The offensive line for Saskatchewan did a great job giving Trevor time and space. And if you do that, then yeah, he's going to carve you up like a Thanksgiving turkey. And I won't say that's exactly what Trevor Harris did, but Trevor did everything that was needed to get the job done. I mean, great use of the ground game. I mean, and it wasn't just AJ Ouellette as well. Tommy Stevens did a fantastic job on 3rd and shorts, and just not only getting the first down, but getting several more. And I believe he scored 2 touchdowns as well, rushing.
Yep.
I mean,
I think it tied a Saskatchewan record, or I'm trying to remember what they said in the press box. It was a
Roughriders record in the Grey Cup.
Yeah, in the Grey Cup, yeah.
Which is, again, give them all the credit. I mean, that's no small feat, but ultimately that's what it came down to. Like, the ground game was so important for both teams, and Saskatchewan was just simply better. That's really what it came down to. Montreal did a very good job, but Saskatchewan just did that much more. And sometimes it really is a game of inches. Sometimes that's all it takes to get the job done. And they now have their 5th Grey Cup championship, which is incredible to think. Their first championship since 2013.
Yeah.
The last time the Montreal Alouettes had lost a Grey Cup was in 2008. I mean, that's a long time ago when you think about it.
Yeah, it's the first time in three Grey Cups that the Alouettes have lost. It does snap the 3-game winning streak in the Grey Cup. It was also, it was at halftime. The Owls had been down in all 3 of those Grey Cups, including tonight. Again, just could not overcome. And again, congratulations to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Congratulations to Rider Nation. You are the Grey Cup champions for 2025.
Yep, absolutely phenomenal job. Again, give Trevor Harris his flowers. He former Alouettes quarterback. He got the job done. We wondered if he truly could do it. Like when he left the Montreal Alouettes in 2023 in free agency, he said, "My goal is to bring the Saskatchewan Roughriders a championship." And we weren't sure if he was going to do it because there was times where he got hurt. There was times where he just simply couldn't execute. It just felt like he couldn't get the big one. He couldn't win the big one. He couldn't get the job done. Well, tonight he got the job done, and hey, give the devil his due. He did a hell of a job.
Okay, and if you haven't missed any part of the broadcast tonight, you can catch it on archive or on X Facebook or on YouTube. And lastly, Cliff, I'll let you do it this time. Last words for the experience and for what we've been able to do for Grey Cup this year.
Simply phenomenal. I mean, this is an opportunity that I hope everybody gets to experience one day, because being able to cover this league is a privilege, and one that I do not take lightly. I am so thankful that the Canadian Football League, the Montreal Alouettes, have given us this opportunity, given us this platform, if you will, to do what we love to do. We love talking football. We love talking to players, coaches, and people that are part of this team. And we were, from the start of training camp all the way to right here, right now, it has been one hell of a ride. We are so thankful that we have this opportunity to do so. We don't take it lightly. And, well, I guess if there's a positive to this, I mean, it's a little tough to swallow right now, but maybe, just maybe, this is going to be the start of something big for the Montreal Alouettes. Maybe this is going to be what motivates them on that grind for 9, which now unfortunately has to go into the 2026 season. But give this team all the credit. Give this team their props because they did a fantastic job and, just close, but not close enough.
Yeah. There will be a podcast. Our 10th broadcast season is still happening here for the Alouettes Flightdeck podcast. So stay tuned for our pod on Wednesday. And lastly, this is our final episode of Flightdeck Live for the 2020. It's hard to say that for the 2025 season. Yeah. It's been a glorious run. We hope that you guys do join us in 2026 because we're going to hope to bring you bigger and better things. Post-game, pre-game, whatever it may be. If it wasn't for you, Alouettes Nation, and for everybody that does listen to us and watch us, we'd be just here talking to ourselves.
Pretty much. So once again, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts here at the Alouettes Flightdeck. This has been an absolute blast. Despite the result, we're so thankful for each and every one of you that subscribes, listens, follows us on social media. You guys you're the true MVPs.
Yeah. So for the last time here at Princess Auto Stadium, where the Alouettes do lose to the Saskatchewan Roughriders in Grey Cup. Hey, we did it again. We got them to tear up the lights on us.
Oh, my word.
It's amazing. What a great way to end this season, I tell you, for Flightdeck Live. The Alouettes do lose to the Saskatchewan Roughriders 25-17 in Grey Cup 112. So for the last time here, for Cliffy D, I'm Tim Capper. We'll talk to you soon.